Hi, I'm Bob Dixon. If you've not used a counsellor or therapist before, then you're probably wondering what to expect, perhaps particularly for the first time that you meet. Now, there are probably as many ways of starting a counselling or therapy session as there are counsellors, so I can really only tell you how I approach this first meeting, but there'll be a lot in common with the way in which other counsellors do. First things first, for myself, I work in a quiet, comfortable and private room located at the Whitecross Estate in central Lancaster. The estate's about 5 minutes walk from the railway and bus stations, and there's lots of free parking on site if you're planning to arrive by car. For the first meeting, I'd arrange to meet you downstairs in the reception area of the gatehouse. There's a reception desk, but there's no need to check in. There are lots of businesses and offices based at the Whitecross, and I work out of a room on the first floor. I leave 30 minutes between appointments, so it's unlikely that you'll bump into anybody else whilst you're there. At the beginning of the first session, I'll introduce myself and briefly explain that I'm a member of several registration organisations and that I work to the ethical guidelines of those organisations, and I'll explain what this means, particularly in relation to confidentiality. On another video on the site I go into more detail about confidentiality, so please watch that if you'd like to know more. I'll then explain my fee structure so you'll know what you're paying for. I'd like you to be able to decide whether you're happy for us to work together before you make any commitment to the work. So at any time during the first 30 minutes of the session, you can just decide to leave without having to make any payment. You don't need to offer any explanation, although if you chose to leave, it would be nice to know why. I'm pleased to say that nobody has ever taken me up on this offer, but I'm sure somebody will one day. If you decide to stay for the full hour, then I would charge my normal fee for the full hour. So having explained about fees, you then have an opportunity to ask any questions that you might have, perhaps about the way that I work. But I find that at this point most people just want to talk about why they've decided to use a counsellor or a therapist now. Quite often there's something that's happened in the last week or two that's led them to pick up the phone or email for an appointment. And that's not to say that things haven't been troubling them for some time, but something usually happens and they decide that enough is enough, that it's time to take action. Now, for some people, sharing their thoughts and feelings is easy, whilst for others it's more difficult. Many people find it easy to tell their story, while other people have been bottling up their feelings for some time, sometimes years, and expressing them for the first time can be very emotional. What happens then, what happens between this time and the end of this first session, is different for different people, so I can't say much more about that. Some people like to talk around their thoughts and feelings until they feel that they can trust the relationship that we're building together, whilst other people like to get stuck in straight away. Whichever way works for you is okay with me. At the end of this first session, I hope first that we began to establish a working relationship of trust, and second, that you'll have an idea of how you'll know when you've achieved what you want to achieve. This is something that we're likely to revisit often, just to make sure that you're on the path that you want to be on and that you're getting there. We'll finish off the first session by confirming contact details and then by scheduling a second appointment at a time that's good for both of us. I hope this video has helped you to feel more comfortable about knowing what to expect in your first counselling or therapy session. If you'd like to know more, then please look at the other videos on the website or contact me. If you'd like to make an appointment, then you can call me on 01524 752240. If I'm working with somebody else, then please leave a message, or you can send an email to me, bob@actualizingpeople.co.uk. Meanwhile, thanks for watching.